This is 5 on your side at 10. Focused on you.
Growing concerns after a triple shooting in the Central West End. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson. Police say hours ago, a fight outside of Walgreens escalated, followed by gunshots. New tonight, 5 on your side's Robert Townsend tells us more about the latest gun violence that has the attention of neighbors and one alderman.
From shoppers,
the craziest thing ever,
to workers at the popular Lindo Marketplace shopping plaza in the Central West End.
But yeah, I couldn't believe it.
People are sounding off after gunshots popped off around noon outside the Walgreens near Lindo and Boyle. 3 people were shot.
And you can't go anywhere. You can't go to Walgreens, you can't go to the store. It's ridiculous.
Police say 2 men fought outside the entrance of the Walgreens. Investigators say a 19-year-old sister of one of them then pulled out a gun and shot into the fight. Bullets hit both men and a female Walgreens employee trying to break up the fight.
Somebody on the bus could have gotten shot. I could have been out there with my grandson. We could have been victims.
Police say last May, an argument ended in a double shooting in the Lindo Marketplace shopping plaza. 2 men were hurt. Days later, in separate crimes, 4 cars were broken into at the same strip mall.
So tired of it. You know, it's ridiculous. You know, just stop. Stop. Think first.
Police arrested the 19-year-old suspect. They're now reviewing surveillance video of the shooting. Meanwhile, the alderman for this 9th Ward area is now sharing his concerns. In a statement, Alderman Michael Browning said, in part, the shooting outside the Walgreens represents the kind of senseless violence that our city is working hard to prevent. Browning also said the city will be working with area businesses to find the best approach to keeping patrons and employees safe.
I don't want to see it get any worse.
Robert Townsend, 5 on your side.
A third person is now facing charges in the death of CBC hockey player Colin Brown. Brown died after getting hit by a stray bullet on I-55 last November. He was heading home with his father after a hockey game. A grand jury indicted 27-year-old Diamond Balcom yesterday on several charges, including first-degree murder, shooting from a motor vehicle, and armed criminal action. She's being held without bond. Tonight, a Missouri man is facing multiple child rape charges, is now in custody. Warrants were issued today. Patrick Bolin of New Haven is charged with 4 counts of statutory rape with a child under the age of 12, sodomy, and other charges. The investigation started last month. Bolin was taken into custody in Illinois. Multiple agencies were actively looking for him. Right now, a family is desperately seeking help to find a St. Louis man last seen on February 24th. They're offering a $5,000 reward. 28-year-old Jason McKay was last seen at his apartment on Olive Street. It's unclear when he left his home, but has been unreachable since. St. Louis police found his car on the Stan Musial Memorial Bridge, but he wasn't there. Jason's family says it is unusual to not hear from him.
He's always one of these kids that'll come and see mom and dad on the days that he's off. So he's off on Tuesday and Wednesday, or he goes and sees dad for dinner on Thursday or Friday. We're always in touch with Jason. It's very out of character. His thing is to ride bicycles when he's off. It's been a little cold for him to do that, so he hasn't been able to do that, but we're a very close family.
Jason is 5'11", weighs about 165 pounds. His family created a GoFundMe to raise money to put up billboards and possibly hire a private investigator. You can find a link on KSDK.com in the As Seen on TV section. Anyone with any information is asked to contact the Missing Persons Unit or McKay's family. Both of the numbers are on your screen. Here's a live look downtown. A warm-up is on the way. We could see highs close to 80 degrees in the upcoming days. Gary Frank is here with our weather impact forecast.
Yeah, pretty nice here. Although if you go outside versus when we talked to you at 5 and 6 o'clock, even before then, a little bit different right now. That front has moved through and it is chillier. But as far as the wind is concerned, there still are some winds gusting to around 23 miles an hour, not the 30 and 40 in some cases for even some of us at times. It's out of a different direction everywhere. We've seen that front push through, and it really did so without much fanfare, right? We've had cloud cover and some light rain to the north, and most of that stayed out of our area or evaporated before it reached the surface. But in terms of temperature, it's 49 degrees. It's a little cooler. We got a north breeze. It makes it feel like 44. That dry air, our dew point at 35 versus 49. So any rain that tried to fall evaporated for the most part. I don't think we're going to see much in the way of rain or anything overnight. And we'll see temperatures hold pretty steady in the mid-30s. I think overall we're in pretty good shape here over the next few days. But as we spring forward, don't forget Saturday into Sunday. It's one of our last. This is definitely our last Friday for a while that it's going to get this dark at this time. 6:24 was our sunrise this morning, 6:01 sunset. And you know what? It's 7:04 on Sunday. And I know it's organic, or it's not organic. We're making it up, but it's still going to feel pretty good. And we'll talk about how temperatures rebound Sunday and beyond here in just a few minutes.
And that nice weather is welcoming thousands of visitors into town for several big events happening right now. From volleyball to basketball, sports is bringing a big boost to St. Louis. 5 on your side's Brent Solomon joins us live to explain how tourism leaders say it's a sign of a bright year ahead for the city. Brent?
You know, if you've been downtown today, you've seen the crowds of people roaming the streets, adding to the vibrancy of the city. Local leaders say they like that, and they're working to create more of it. It's a stroll into the city.
We love St. Louis.
Science Center.
Yeah, that Science Center is nice.
And you'll find crowds of people for different reasons.
National qualifiers volleyball tournament.
Bradley basketball.
I was afraid that I was going to be very cold because I'm from Texas. And so I'm happy that it's not.
We brought the good weather for you.
I'm telling you, I had anxiety.
We absolutely love having the streets full of people.
Kat Neville with Explore St. Louis is excited about sports bringing people in. Right now, the Arch Madness basketball tournament and the Mideast Girls National Qualifier for volleyball have hotels booked and restaurants full.
Looking for some dinner. Matter of fact, y'all know any spots?
Yeah, absolutely.
Lots of good food. Rooster Chris Steakhouse.
There you go. Add to that our own sports teams.
Also going to have this month the Cardinals home opener. City SC is already playing. Next month we have the home opener of the Battlehawks.
And the church and civic convention scheduled here this year.
We're looking at a really big year.
Local leaders are intentional about this because a little extra foot traffic can lead to so much more.
You don't move to a city or locate your company in a city that you wouldn't want to visit as a tourist.
And when you're bringing the whole family with you, your first impression can be a lasting one.
You got to come back, okay? You'll do it? All right.
I think we've convinced him. Neville tells me that tourism brings a $2.6 billion economic impact to the city every year. Live downtown, Brent Solomon, 5 on your side.
Homer G. Phillips Memorial Hospital is likely going to stay permanently closed after recently laying off its entire staff. The hospital was under a deadline to meet licensing requirements by March 17th, but the hospital did not submit the necessary information, according to the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services. The department says it also denied the hospital's request for an extension. This comes a little over a week after the North City Hospital fired all of its employees. A federal judge in Missouri ruled that China owes the state more than $24 billion of damages stemming from the COVID-19 pandemic. Missouri Attorney General Andrew Bailey announced this today. He says he intends to collect that money by seizing Chinese-owned assets, including Missouri farmland. Bailey also claims this judgment is the largest in Missouri history. It's the first Friday of Lent, and you know what that means. It's fish fry season. We take a look at a local church where people come back year after year. It is the first week of Lent, and today officially kicked off Fish Fry Friday season. People came out in droves to celebrate at their local churches like St. Alphonsus, the Rock Church off North Grand. Their fish fry has been a neighborhood staple for years. It takes about 50 volunteers to make it happen. And we talked with parishioners who say a close friend, Glenn Miller, brought them to the fish fry, and they've been coming back ever since.
See, it's all about love. It's all about love here at St. Alphonsus Rock Church, and we love Glenn Miller. So having the foundation makes us feel really wonderful about it. So, I mean, you know, in honor of Glenn, we continue to do our thing with our fish fry.
The fish fry at St. Alphonsus continues every Friday through April 11th. And if you're looking for a fish fry in your neighborhood or anywhere else, just check out our interactive fish fry finder at KSDK.com or just text the word fish to 314-425-5355. We'll be happy to send you a link. Let's check in with Weather Impact meteorologist Gary Frank once again. Look at our weekend forecast.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty nice. It's going to end up being pretty nice. And I know it's not going to be in the 70s tomorrow or really any day this weekend, but we've got plenty of those days on the way. And this weekend looks pretty good. And I know a lot of you have to wash your car after it got dirty for that little bit of rain. Remember, we warned you, and not maybe necessarily warned you about the dusty rain that we had, but we did warn you that it was a car wash ruining rain. I'm not going to say that 3 times fast, but this is all part of the storm system that we were on the warm side of today, and now we're on the chillier side. Like I mentioned, you can still see where that flag is blowing, and it's out of the northerly direction. Now, the key for me is we got 71 degrees today. Our average is 53. We were above freezing in the morning, and that's where we should be. Now, we're still going to continue to see that cooler air. Like I said, 49 in the city. As I broaden this out, it's 51 in the Scooty. You can see that warmer air still hanging around, but 30s behind it. And that's what I think is eventually going to work its way in later on. It's just going to take some time. Now, this is the nice part about March. The cold to the north, it was just below freezing. It's not teens, it's not 20s. We're away from that, and there's a few light showers, but I think overall the next couple of hours we'll see eventual clearing by about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It's going to keep us a couple of degrees above freezing. We're going to warm up pretty quickly, though. By 11, we're in the mid-40s, and by 3 or 4 o'clock, we're in the mid-50s. We got a north-northwest breeze at 5 to 10 miles an hour. I do think we're going to warm up pretty nicely. Now, as we get rid of this system, we'll have another one that kind of skirts to the south, and I think by Sunday into Monday, we'll see high pressure take over. There are a couple of things and maybe adjustments to the forecast here. As we look at this high pressure that settles in, that's going to be the dome for warm air, and that's going to help warm us up from top to bottom. I will say I think this cooler air maybe settles and nudges in a little bit more on Tuesday to the north. That doesn't mean it's going to affect us a ton, but I think it keeps us from getting to 80 as perhaps I thought we were going to, because then it kind of sits here, and I think we're going to stay pretty mild the rest of the week. Now, in terms of records, we were talking about the early spring warmth. Our averages, 50s, right? We're in the low 50s. We're away from the records. These records this time of the year are in the mid-80s. Even if we got to 80 on Tuesday, like I had pretty close to, and I've shoved 4 degrees down, I think we're away from that. But still, records are in the mid-80s. We're away from that. It still feels very nice. Over the next few days, you'll go from 55 as we spring forward to 62. We're in the mid-70s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, as mentioned. I do think we see some rain, a slight chance on Thursday, but if you're spending some time to wash your car, this is the opportunity. I think this is a good week. I don't have any sprinkles or dirty rain, which we like to say.
Yes.
Dirty rain. Dirty rain.
I had never heard of that before.
Yeah, well, we had some explainers, but I
we
wanted
did.
we were singing it. That dirty rain.
Gary, thanks so much. Thanks so much for joining us at 10. Your local news and weather is always available on the free 5 Plus app. Now here's Corey Miller and Andy Krall with 5 on your sideline.